So step one of making a shipment, we need to just go ahead and open up Boxem. This is your dashboard in case you've never used Boxem before. You can see all your sales, all your profit, all that good stuff. But let's go ahead and talk about how to actually create a shipment here. The important new step that we need to keep in mind first is that if you're listing a brand new SKU to your store, so something that you've not already sold and you want to restock, if you've never sold this item before, the new step one is to go to inventory, go press list FBA, and that's going to take you to this tab right here. Once you're at the list FBA flow, start typing in whatever's easiest for you to pull up the product that you already have in hand, whether it be the ASIN, the UPC, the name. In this example, I'm just going to use a toy that I found at Ross the other day. This like mega Pokemon toy right here. So let's go ahead and press new SKU. And then we'll go ahead and set some basic information about our product so that we can then add it to a shipment after we've all gone ahead and created this listing. So once again, this is only necessary if you're listing a brand new product. This is one of Amazon's new requirements for creating shipments. And so we'll go in here and we can add any other information we want to add. So for example, our buy cost, we might also add our supplier. I also like adding my date purchase. So I'll go ahead and mark that as today. And then it's going to create a nice custom SKU down here under Boxem settings. Let's go ahead and add that listing though. And then we'll be ready to submit this listing to Amazon. Once again, go ahead and create a listing for any new products you want to add to your store by ASIN, UPC, whatever's easiest for you. And then go ahead and press submit listings. I've already gone ahead and created this right here. So what you're looking for is for this pending circle to say active. And so let's just go ahead and create a shipment using this and another example product so you can see how the rest of the new Amazon shipment flow works. So to do that, we're just going to press the create a shipment button. That's going to take you to this screen right here, which if you've used Boxem before, it looks pretty similar, but there's a couple small differences. Mostly just being that you'll go ahead and type in the fulfillment type, whether you're doing FBA or FBM. You can do both of those with Boxem here. Go ahead and type in your ship from address. If you've previously used Boxem, there's also going to be a requirement to now enter in a phone number. Once you do that one time, you'll never have to do it again. Go ahead and select your shipping method. So be small parcel or LTL. In this case, we're probably going to do a small parcel shipment unless you're shipping out big pallets of stuff already, which in your case, congrats. Go ahead and mark this ready to ship date as the day you're ready to ship it out. Whatever you're done with this shipment, though, you can go ahead and take it to UPS, schedule a UPS pickup. The ready to ship button matters a lot more for an LTL shipment. With small parcel, it's kind of just a suggestion. And whenever your shipment's ready, you can have UPS pick it up or drop it off at UPS. Down here, make sure you activate your 2D barcodes within Boxem. These 2D barcodes are going to allow you to get the items checked in a little bit smoother once that product actually arrives at Amazon. And for my personal Amazon business, this means that I make sales on my items about 2 to 3 days faster on average as a result of using Boxem. You also want to go ahead and take advantage of the auto pricing feature. This is going to automatically change the price based on the buy box. In my case, I like using 25% higher than the current buy box. That way, when that price actually checks in, I'm not accidentally selling it too cheap. You know, when that item checks in, I want to be above the buy box and I can lower it down to wherever that buy box is at. But if you ended up sourcing something where the price goes up, you don't want to be listing at the buy box when you ship it in. By the time it ships it in, you're the cheapest guy in the listing, and then you're missing out on some profit. I would also highly suggest to turn on the auto print FN SKU setting on this. I'm going to leave it off just so we can kind of manually walk through the process, but it will make your life a little bit easier when you're adding products to boxes, and we'll talk about that here later. Just go ahead and check this on for assigning to boxes, and if you ever want to update when you change the amount of items you're adding to a box, you can also have that auto print here. Down here, I also like to store my buy cost, supplier, date purchased, any of those extra details I can possibly store so that I can see those in my analytics dashboard later. With all that in mind, though, let's go ahead and create a shipment. And then it's going to be fairly similar to how Boxem has worked in the past. But if you've never used Boxem before at all, let's go ahead and walk through the process, right? So now on step one, we're going to be able to search through products that we've already listed via the list FBA flow or have already existed in your Amazon account. Once again, you don't have to make a new listing unless it's a brand new SKU to your store. So in this case, let's go ahead and list this Pokemon toy that we were selling. Let's go ahead and add this SKU right here. And then we'll go ahead and start filling out the required details about this item. So in this case, I'm going to put in, the price I want it to be at. I found this at my local store for $39.99. Let's go ahead and just say we have 10 of these for the sake of example. We'll also punch in our supplier. Let's go ahead and mark today's date as our purchase date. And then also down here, there's a couple new requirements from Amazon. The expiration date is not new. You can still select an expiration date if you have an expiration date for your product. What is new though is selecting a prep category. So if your item is liquid or fragile or any of these, go ahead and mark that on the Amazon flow right here. In my case, it's no prep needed since it's not, a sharp, it's not a set, anything like that. A lot of your products are probably going to be no prep needed. And then a couple other new settings are going to be the prep owner and label owner. This is just assigning who is going to be in charge of prepping the item if there's any kind of special prep required, or who is going to be in charge of labeling the item with FN SKU labels. But since we're using Boxem, both of these are pretty simple, and there is a per unit fee incurred with letting Amazon do either of these. So typically we suggest to let yourself do it unless you're really on a crazy time crunch, in which case you could consider letting Amazon take care of those for you. Let's go ahead and add this to a shipment though, and then you can see that prep category is automatically set there. If the prep category is not already set, we added in some features to make this really, really quick. The prep category will be set within 15 to 30 seconds, which is much faster than any of the existing tools you might be stuck with right now. So it's another reason why it's really encouraged to switch to Boxem these days. And just for the sake of variety, let's also go ahead and list a brand that a lot of you guys are going to be auto ungated in, being like Stafford t-shirts here, just so you can see how it works when you have multiple items to add to the batch. I'm going to say we have 10 of these as well. I'm going to go ahead and mark our supplier there, mark today's date as our purchase date. And then once again, no expiration date needed on t-shirts. And in this case, and on some items, you'll also notice that the prep category, label owner, and prep owner are preset. Just make sure that you follow whatever the instructions are here. In this case, generally, it's going to be Amazon provided, seller. And for example, in prep category, Amazon provided kind of presets and does a lot of that work for us. So let's go ahead and add this to the shipment. And if you do have to set a prep category, like I said, this will load in. Repeat that process for as many items as you want to send into Amazon, and then we'll go ahead and press continue. Once you make it to step 2, this is where you're going to prep and box your items. In this case, we're going to go ahead and create a box, and then we're going to be able to assign products to go inside of this box. It's also in the pack group information, it's going to show me what prep instructions are required. So in the case of this toy, all I have to do is put an FN SKU label on the item. I'll show you how that works in just a second. And in this example, since it is like t-shirts, something that might get really dirty on the conveyor belts at Amazon, it's also asking us to seal it in a poly bag, but we can see all the requirements here. Let's go ahead and assign these all to our box though. So we'll go ahead and say we have 10 of these in box 1. You can also take advantage of the bulk assign feature if you want to automatically create a new box. So we can say bulk assign 10 to 1 box, and then we can save and print that. And so you can see that we set all of our dimensions, our weight, and all of our information all at once. If you do assign them manually, then you'll go in here and after the fact, you'll set what the box weighs and then what the dimensions are after the fact. If you enabled the setting to auto print those FN SKU labels in step 1, that's going to automatically do it, obviously. In this case, we did not, so I'm just going to print one of these labels so you can see how it works. It printed out a little label that looks like this right down there. You can also see if I open up the file that downloaded, this is all we have. It's just a custom barcode so that when this product arrives at Amazon, they scan that and give us proper credit for the sale. But after you have all the products prepped, you have them all labeled, and you have them all placed inside of individual boxes that you're about to send into Amazon, go ahead and press continue. After Amazon sends the required information to Boxem, you're now going to be able to see 3 different options for how you can send a shipment in, which is also going to allow you to choose the total fees and total shipping cost, so you can see 3 different options that you have for actually shipping this product off to Amazon. In this case, I can see that this top shipment wants me to send it to Arizona. In my example, I'm shipping out of New Mexico, so it makes sense that the transportation fees would be a lot lower than shipping to Florida or Michigan. The downside is that I'm going to pay higher placement fees, which are fees that I pay for Amazon to allow me to basically choose a closer fulfillment center. As you make larger and larger shipments, you're going to see varying results in here. Sometimes it might also ask you to send to multiple different destinations in exchange for lower placement fees. In my case though, these boxes are all going to the same destination no matter which option I pick, so it's pretty obvious that I should choose the cheapest option here, being $38. Let's go ahead and press continue and we'll complete this process. On our final step, we'll be able to print our UPS and FBA box labels with this button right here. And when they do print, they're going to look something like this. This, by the way, is your 2D barcode, which was automatically added to your FBA box label and should now help the check-in process be a little bit smoother at Amazon as a result of using Boxem. Go ahead and take these labels, put them on the side of the box. Do not cover the seam of the box you're actually shipping off to Amazon. And you can schedule a UPS pickup on the UPS website, or you can drop it off at your local UPS store, whichever is more convenient for you.